So I want to talk about the Time magazine annual issue that comes out at this time with the best inventions of 2022. In the past, they've done 100 inventions, but I think the world has gotten twice as innovative and creative. So now they feature 200 inventions. It's a double issue, and I picked 3 of them. And the 3 I picked them because behind them and around them and through them are some creative processes that we use for our clients in our ideation work. I'll set this first one up. With our clients, we sometimes have them do 2 kinds of wishing. One is realistic wishing. I realize that's an oxymoronic term, but they wish for things that are achievable, right? We want to double our sales this year. We want to improve the supply chain, whatever it is. The more interesting one is what we call fantastical wishing. And this is where we get our clients to come up with impossible wishes and then try to figure out how to turn that impossible wish into something real. And the way we do that, we often prompt them to say, your wish isn't fantastical enough, violate a law of nature to do that, okay? So here we go, that's with something that seemingly violates the law of nature, but obviously didn't. This is from a company called Ether Diamonds, that's AETHER, and they have created diamonds from thin air. I'll repeat that. They've created diamonds from thin air, literally. And what does that mean? They have technology to harvest atmospheric carbon. And so they take CO2, get the carbon, and actually create diamonds out of that carbon. And so they're, from a sustainability standpoint, they're great, right? I mean, normally, and by the way, they're less expensive than mined diamonds. Mined diamonds are not great for the environment. They 127 gallons per carat when they're mining diamonds, and they're moving 250 tons of earth to find 1 carat. So this is quite an invention, quite an advance, right? And by the way, along with the sustainability thing, they're going to give 10% of their revenue into direct air capture industry technology. Just an overview, by the way, of these 200 best inventions for 2022. Over a quarter of them have a sustainability or green component. Inventions number 2 and 3 here are both sort of in the world of vision or optics. And I want to set this up and challenge you to think of your product or service. Is there some added capability or function or feature without screwing it up that you can add to your product or service? And of course, the poster child of this is the smartphone, right? I mean, the smartphone has obsoleted literally hundreds of inventions. And whether it's an alarm clock or a pulse meter or whatever it is, right? This invention actually ties in with a smartphone, and this is a mini microscope. It's created by the company Qing Ying E, E&T. Qing Ying E&T, obviously it's a Chinese company. It's the iMicro-C smartphone microscope. I think they could probably use some of our help in the naming thing here. But what they've done, which is really kind of cool, they've got a fingertip size lens that will affix to your smartphone, the camera on your smartphone. It weighs less than half a gram, 0.02 ounces. It attaches with a nano suction pad, right? So it stays on there. And the cool thing is it will magnify things up to 200 times. And so what a great thing, right? You're out with your kid or something and say, let's look at, we've got one world here, let's look at another world. And so you can look at insects or whatever it is. And it's affordable. This thing sells for $40, and I just ordered one, so we'll let you know maybe in the next Curious and Quirky how will this thing work. The third and final one I want to focus on, this is the notion is, can you add some emotionality, or can you build in an emotional feature and or sell to your product or service, right? Because emotions are important. They motivate us. And this company, this is Spy Optics, has created a new color-enhancing sunglasses, right? They call this, you ready? They call it the Happy Boost, all right? So this is kind of the notion of looking at the world through rose-colored glasses, I would say. They have a lens. They've identified and created a lens formula that can brighten the world. They used AI. They looked at millions of color combinations to get this lens formula. And besides the classic things of sunglasses of protecting eyes and reducing glare. They enhance the color of the world by 30%, right? And so you get the world becomes a more vivid and happier place, right? So those are the three inventions I want to cover. The last thing I would say is one of the strategies, creative strategies I've mentioned before, is to put the word smart in front of anything that any product or service that you're marketing or creating. And just so you know, 4 of the featured and titled inventions had the word smart in front of them in these 200 inventions. Smart cars, smart watering, a smart speaker for kids, and seamless smart homes. So those will be your thought seeds for the future. Try to imagine what those could be. And maybe on the next Curious and Quirky, I'll let you know what they are.